Hey YouTube, welcome back to the Backpack Hack channel, and I thought I'd throw a video together today because I got the day off and do a review of the XTAR Dragon VP4 Plus battery station. Now you notice they call it a station instead of a charger. And while this will charge batteries, it does a whole lot more than do that. It can test your batteries both for internal resistance. It can check the actual output. So if you have a, let's say, a 2000 milliamp hour battery, you can actually check to see if it's actually putting out 2000 milliamps. These are very, very popular. In fact, they are so popular, they are highly counterfeited. So if you are interested in getting one of these, make sure that you buy it from a reputable dealer, either online or an actual brick and mortar store. And the genuines, well, maybe not all the genuines, but even the counterfeiters are going to come with this, may come with this card. It's a warranty card. This is actually the warranty card. And there's a little sticker on here that's got a scratch off, I don't know, 15 or 18 digit number. And you have to go to XTAR's website to verify that your unit is genuine. And I found out that I've got a genuine unit. So if you buy one, like I say, buy it from a reputable dealer. Because if you buy it online at the cheapest place you can find it, you may end up with a counterfeit and have no remedy, and you're out the money. It may function, but you don't know about how the quality is going to be, how well it is actually charging it. If it's a bad quality counterfeit, it actually may be damaging your battery. The beautiful thing about this is it charges so many different kinds of batteries. And they're listed right here on the back. I'm going to throw them up here on the screen for you to look at right now. I'm also going to put them in the description below, and of course provide a link to the manufacturer's website so you can actually go look at this yourself, and it'll list all the battery types that you will have available to charge. These are the types of batteries that I have for rechargeables. I've got 26650, 18650, 18500, AAA, AA, 9 or D cell, and a 9 volt. The only thing I have bad to say about this unit is it doesn't charge 9 volts. Maybe the next iteration will, but this one does not do 9 volts. Just keep that in mind. When you buy this unit, you will get the AC adapter, so you can plug it right into your house mains. It runs off of 12 volts, so it comes with a 12 volt DC cord. So you can plug this right into your cigarette lighter or your vehicle, so you aren't tied to a 120 volt source, or 240 if you live in those countries. It also comes with a set of test leads. We'll get into what that's used for later on in the video. It comes with a nice Cordura case. I like this because I take this on vacation with me. I'm on a trip. This is how I charge my batteries when I'm out in the field. And you can charge all sorts of things, not just these kind of batteries, but it will charge like your various USB charger devices. It keeps my Petzl headlamp charged. Even though there is a solar cell on my Scorpion 2 flashlight, it will charge the battery in that. Even though my Kato Voyager Pro has both a solar panel and a hand crank, if I wanted to, I could charge the battery with this. And it will also charge a cell phone. Just about any USB device or any device that takes this kind of battery, this unit will charge. So I'm going to bring the camera in here and I'll show you a close-up of this, of how this actually functions, and give you an idea of what this unit is actually capable of. Okay, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of the unit itself. If you looked at this out of the box without knowing what it was, it's kind of a hard plastic. I mean, it doesn't look all that quality. Pretty cheap and cheesy. You're probably thinking, well, it's not a $100 charger, but I've seen them sell for $120, $130. The best price I've seen online is about $85, $90. So if you get it at that price, it's a good price. One of the biggest reasons I like this is it can charge a wide variety of batteries. It can charge the 3.6, 3.7 volt class, as well as the 1.2 to 1.5 volt class rechargeable batteries. And the charger has 4 independent charging stations. Each one has a channel, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're all independent. So if you have just one battery to charge, you can charge just that one battery. You don't have to charge them in a pair, like a pair of AA's and a pair of D cells. You can charge one battery at a time, or you can charge 4 batteries at a time, all different. So let's go ahead and plug this in, and it'll light up the display. There are only 2 displays for the 4 ports, and it will tell you down here at the bottom which channel you're looking at. They're marked here channel 1, 2, 3, and 4. Green means that they're ready to go. So let's just go ahead and pop some batteries in. You can tell that this one is 97% charged, and it is charging. I'm going to throw another one in here in station number 2, and it will say channel 2 is 88% and it is charging. I'm going to take another one, say this one, I'm going to drop it into channel 3, and it is 51% and charging. Now, if you want to cycle, because, like I said, you can only look at 2 of these at a time, so if you want to see what channel 4 is, you simply press the display button, and it will change it to channel 4. If you put a battery in backwards, it will beep at you until you change it. So you switch that back around. Now I've got all 4 ports, or all 4 channels filled. Channels 1 and 4 are displayed here. If I want to look at 2 and 3, I simply press the display button, and I've got channel 2 and channel number 3. Another function is because they are all independently charging, I'm going to put in a fully charged battery, and this should charge up pretty quick because it was just filled up here a few minutes ago. So I'm going to let you listen to it beep when it gets fully charged. But like I say, the nice thing is you can independently charge all these different kinds of batteries. And that's exactly what it sounds like when one is filled up. So when that one is filled up, you can come out and change that battery and put a different one in. This way you don't have to sit there and watch it. It gives you this little beep so you can go do something else. You can go work on the computer or bake cookies or, go change the oil in your car, whatever. Just listen for that beep, and then you can come in and constantly change those batteries. This way, if you have a lot of batteries, you aren't having to watch this all the time and waste time wondering if it's charged or not. It lets you know. As I stated, I'm going to just pull these out to make it a little bit easier to show you this, but there are 2 USB ports in here, plus an 11.1 volt power pack charger. This is for RC drones and airplanes and the remote control or radio control industry. There's an 11.1 volt standard battery that plugs into there. That's something I don't have, but if you have a drone or an RC vehicle that takes that battery, you can plug it in and charge it into this. There's also 2 USB ports in here, so if you have a USB device, take my cord here, and I'm going to plug in my phone, and my phone turns on and it's charging. So I can charge things like phones. I can charge like a little portable battery pack like this. It'll light up red to tell me that it's charging. So I can do that. There's a couple other features that this has. One is that it runs off a 12 volt DC. So the big advantage there is you can run it off of a cigarette lighter, and the manufacturer conveniently provides this cigarette lighter plug. So you can plug this directly into a cigarette lighter and plug this in here and run this in your vehicle, so you don't have to be tied to an AC power cord. Another feature this has is you can test for the internal resistance of a battery. And the manufacturer supplies a set of leads to do just that. And it's tied to a USB end here. And you have to plug it in to the one on this side. There's one here and one here on the back. You have to plug it into this side to use this feature. And what you do is just simply plug that into your USB port. To activate the mode, you short the terminals. It will beep. And you'll see the display changes. And I'm going to read the internal resistance of this D cell. Get these out here where I can work with them. Just press them together on the terminals, and it's 1.29 volts at 15 milliohms. Now, 15 milliohms in and of itself doesn't tell you much. What you need to do is somehow mark a battery, saying this is battery such and such 1, 2, 3, 4, or A, B, C, D, however you want to mark your batteries. I don't care how you mark them, but you need to mark it and then keep track of that internal resistance. As you use a battery, over the life of the battery, that internal resistance will increase. That simply makes it harder for it to push the electron flow through the battery to produce electricity. And eventually you're going to get to the point where the battery, quote unquote, doesn't hold a charge. Well, it does hold a charge. It's just using all of its power to push it through that internal resistance. So this is something that you have to monitor. You just can't say, oh, this battery has so many milliohms of resistance, it's good or bad. Because each battery is going to be slightly different. This one, 4.2 volts, 17 milliohms. Again, 17 really doesn't tell you a whole lot about the health of the battery, because this one's 67. So it's not really a good or bad pass or fail type of thing, but it's something that if you want to monitor the health of your batteries, you can certainly do that. One other feature that a lot of people miss on this particular charger is the fact that not only can you charge a USB device, as I showed you before. I'm going to hook this back up. And my eyesight isn't getting all that good anymore. And whoever decided to make USB ports square should be shot. But now my battery is charging, or should charge. There it came on and it's charging. Here's an interesting feature about this particular charger. I want to unplug it. Now I can take any 3.7 volt battery. This only works with this class of battery. It doesn't work, it only works with these types of batteries, the 3.7. It does not work with these kind of batteries, your AAAs, AAAs, Cs, and Ds. I can take one of these and put it in here, and the display will light up. And amazingly, my phone is now charging. Not very efficiently, because I'm going from 3.7 to about 6 volts, or 5 volts, something like that. But you can see that it is charging. This is a feature that a lot of people don't catch on this particular model. Obviously, the smaller battery isn't going to be able to charge my phone up as much as this. And to give you an idea, this is a 26650 4800 milliamp hour battery. I ran my phone down. This is a Samsung Galaxy 5. I ran it down to 15%, and that's where I start getting all the warnings about low battery. And then I put a fully charged 26650 in here and just let it go to see how much charge I could get out of this battery into this phone. I charged this phone back up to 100% at the expense of this battery. This battery was completely dead to charge this phone back up. So obviously if you use a smaller battery like an 18650 or an 18500, you're not going to get a full charge. But the nice thing is, if you have multiple batteries, you can parallel them. If I had another battery here, all four would be charging my phone. So if I had 4 of these batteries, I could charge this phone up 4 times on those 4 batteries. So if nothing else, I've got a way right there to charge my phone. No matter what, as long as these are charged, I've got a way to charge my phone. There is one other function that I want to discuss here, and need to find the cord end here again because it fell down. And that is, you can test a battery. Not only with the internal resistance, but you can actually measure the actual milliamp hour of that battery. And I'm just going to use this little AAA here to show you this. What it's going to do is I'm going to do what's called the refresh button here. What that's going to do is, it's going to take a while, so I'm going to have to do a little editing here, is you push this button, it will charge this battery completely up, and then it will discharge it and measure how much current comes out of it. And once it gets down to 0, it will figure up how much current it got out of that. So this, I think, is 700 milliamps. Yeah, 700 milliamps. That's this battery. It's a 700 milliamp battery. So I'm going to go ahead and push this button, and I'm going to leave the camera set up, and we'll just see what happens with this test. So away we go. And what the unit's going to be doing is slowly discharging the battery. You can see it says discharge, and the percentage is going to go down. We'll do a little editing here to speed the process up. But when it gets all done, it will have calculated how much current it gets out of that battery. And as it draws it down, it comes up with a cumulative total. So this particular battery is rated for 700 milliamp hour. And when it gets all done and recharges the battery, it tells me that it actually was 740 milliamps. Was what it was able to draw out of that battery. And there you have it. A very capable battery charger. As I said in the beginning, it doesn't look like much. There's not a whole lot of weight to it because probably it's mostly just electronics in there. It's just mostly circuit boards. There's no transformer or anything in there. There's a transformer there, but you know, it's kind of a hard plastic. To me, that's just a cheesy plastic, but I can look past that considering what I'm getting. Being able to charge all these devices being able to charge a USB port with just this device and a cord, I mean, that alone is worth the price. Being able to charge all these items and test all these batteries to make sure that they are functioning the way they should. And am I having an old battery that's starting to wear out? Instead of thinking, well, let's try it and see if it lasts, I can put it in this machine and actually test it. This one is a 2500 milliamp hour battery. Maybe I'm going to put it in there and it's only giving me 800 milliamps. Then I know it's time to replace that battery. So if you're looking for a single battery station, you might want to look at the XTAR Dragon VP4 Plus. They are very, very popular. Like I say, you can buy them online. Some sporting goods might sell them. One place that, a couple places actually, that will probably sell them is either a hobby store that sells like RC planes and boats and cars and things like that, as well as vaping shops, because vaping devices, a lot of them will use these 18650s, so a vaping store might have these in stock. So you might want to consider this. This is Backpack Hack coming at you with this trail tip. Be safe out there, and I'll see you out there on the trail.